Hi, I'm going to take on another leadership topic today, and this one is a rather important one. As you see, the title here, what are the two most important skills for a CEO? People have all kinds of conversations about what it means to be the boss. You hear people talk about the boss tells others what to do or he's able to fire people, except most really don't know what happens in the ivory tower. Most people think of a CEO like So when most people think of a CEO, they believe he should have an executive presence, be assertive, well-educated, intelligent, have high EQ or emotional intelligence, and be an effective leader. To support those qualities, he should have strong financial acumen, be a decisive decision maker, and have his finger on the pulse of up and coming trends. There are some that believe the CEO should be an intimidating person. While those are skills and competencies that serve a purpose in leadership, many CEOs and entrepreneurs have followed that script and still have not become great leaders. For the record, great is whatever you say it is. If you've read Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, you will have a well informed perspective about great companies and their leaders. At the same time, I have another source for understanding great leaders. Through my CEO roundtables, the board of veteran CEOs, I've had an enormous amount of access to a long list of current and former CEOs of Fortune 500s and other substantial middle market companies. One of the messages conveyed to me was how a CEO's perspective of success transforms as he advances throughout his tenure at the top. Many of the conversations went as follows. Ted, in the beginning of my tenure as a CEO, I was concerned with money, metrics, milestones, and processes. At the end of my career, I realized that if I took care of my people, they would do a good job. They do actually a great job of taking care of money, metrics, milestones, and processes. Those CEOs went on to say if they had this knowledge at the beginning of their careers, their job would have been much easier. In another case, the CEO said he was hired by the board to turn around a large corporation. He immediately cut staff and brought in many of his own people. He also saw corporate culture had to transform. As a result, he brought in a consulting firm that specialized in transforming corporate culture. He said those people needed to change. However, culture was not transforming. At some point, one of the consultants suggested he be an example of the transformation and eat what he suggested everyone else eat, which was transformation. When he transformed, the rest of the enterprise followed him. If it was good enough for him or the CEO, it was good enough for the rest of the organization. Before that, he was attempting to fix people as though they were broken. And what that CEO said after this was it was a life-changing decision for him to take on transformation first. He said if he wanted to transform corporate culture, he would have to transform himself first. Otherwise, he could be sending messages that conflict with transformation. Once he's going through transformation, his messages now align and support the new direction. These two examples get us to the first of the two most important skills for a CEO. The CEO's number one job is to create a great environment for people to work in. That's the CEO's number one job. The CEO's number one job is to create a great environment for people to work in. In that environment, the CEO takes care of the people, and the people take care of money, metrics, milestones, and processes. That environment includes a place to grow, experiment, and fail. And new skills and competencies are acquired as people transform. Collaboration is embraced, people's contributions are valued, and the CEO has an open door policy. As a side, if you guys are getting value from what I'm saying now, share this video with people who you know can also get value from it. Like the video if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the bell. Make sure you get notifications when new videos come out. So I'd like to move on to the number two. So we gave you number one, which is the CEO's job is to create a great environment for people to work in. While the number two skill is supported by the number one, it also conflicts with it. Therefore, it entails a level of self mastery by the CEO to be able to effectively navigate people through a conflict that could cause chaos. Since CEOs are in the business of possibility, they are not paid to maintain status quo. Possibility is a future that does not currently exist. In fact, there may be no blueprint for that possibility. As a consequence of working on new possibilities, it may give people the feeling they are repairing an airplane while it is flying at 30,000 feet. With that said, the second most important job of the CEO is to intentionally create problems. That's right. The CEO's number two job is to intentionally create problems. When the enterprise solves the problem that the CEO created, it becomes could be disruptive technology and or it allows the company to penetrate untapped markets. Either way, what's going to happen when that problem is solved is the company is going to generate new revenues from a new product or a new market that they could not have done without that new possibility. Can you see the conflict? As CEO, your number one job is to create an environment that supports collaboration and high performance. Then you come along and intentionally create problems that stretch people well beyond their comfort zones. Intentionally stretching people out of their comfort zone can be uncomfortable for them and you. You may not be well liked because of their discomfort. When you look at Steve Jobs, he mastered the capacity for intentionally creating problems. Imagine asking your people to put 1,000 songs on a portable listening device. It had never been done. Once accomplished, he asked them then to take that device and turn it into a smartphone. When Apple solved problems that Jobs created, they were rewarded by customers who stood on long lines for hours to have a chance to buy the new products. Then Wall Street investors rewarded Apple by purchasing the stock and pushing up the stock price to record highs. If you notice, I have not talked about the importance of executive presence. I only talked about two things that were most important. Steve Jobs, you want to talk about presence? Steve Jobs walked around barefoot. He was also not known for possessing emotional intelligence, and neither is Elon Musk, except to create a great working environment, you have to care about your people. You take care of people you care about. Furthermore, while Jobs did not have a college degree, you better believe he was highly intelligent. He educated himself in many ways. In addition, instead of keeping his finger on the pulse, he created the pulse for others to follow. For me, one of the best quotes by Steve Jobs is, "Why hire people and tell them what to do? We hire smart people and ask them what we should be doing." When you look at the importance of outsourcing different functions within a business, you soon realize some things should never be outsourced. Designing a great working environment and intentionally creating problems are two important roles of the CEO. He cannot delegate or outsource either. Even though there are many duties CEOs can strategically delegate to their direct reports, when it comes to creating an environment and intentionally creating problems, outsourcing and delegation are not advisable. Those actually become your competitive edge as a leader and allow you to leave a legacy uh, when you come to the end of your career. If you like the video, share it. Thanks for listening. I'll be back with more provocative ideas that will cause you to think and bring value to your life. And as a quick side, if you think about this, creating problems, even in your intimate relationships, can be transformed from everything I said here about business into your personal life. Thanks for watching. Take care and goodbye.